This week on The Tonight Show, Jay welcomes Sean Connery, Heather Locklear, and the Neville brothers to NBC.
I'm Joan Steffen. Next up on KARE-11 News at 10, we will trace the path of a hard-hitting spring storm and bring you breaking news of a terrible tragedy involving a teenager and a bus. This is KARE-11 News at 10.
Sounded like a tornado.
I'm not good at guessing, but I'm 50 mile an hour plus.
We hit the floor, put a blanket over us, and we bolted downstairs.
Tops of the roofs missing.
Scary. Very scary.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this special edition of KARE-11 News at 10.
Tonight, we will trace the path of the first major storm of the season and survey the damage left in its wake.
But first, breaking news out of St. Louis Park. A 13-year-old boy is clinging to life tonight after what can only be described as a tragic accident. KARE-11's Julie Borgen joins us now live with more. Julie?
Well, Joan and Rick, right now details are fairly sketchy, but what we can tell you is that a group of kids from the B'nai Emet Synagogue here behind us in St. Louis Park were on this double-decker bus. They were at a post-bar mitzvah party down at First Avenue in Minneapolis. They were coming home. One of the boys, a 13-year-old Brian Guerin, was sticking his head out the vent on the top of the bus. And apparently he hit his head on the overpass at Minnetonka Boulevard and Highway 100. He was rushed to Methodist Hospital where he is in critical condition right now. The details, as I said, are sketchy right now. We're still waiting for the police to talk to us. This happened at about 6 o'clock tonight. They're still here going over the bus, cleaning up the parking lot. We were told that there was blood in the parking lot earlier. As I said, those are all the details we have for right now. We'll bring you more as we learn more. Back to you.
Julie, I don't know if I missed it. Did you say what kind of bus is that?
It's a double-decker bus, and it was just a bus that was chartered by the synagogue. These kids were at a party. It was a party sponsored by the synagogue, a post-bar mitzvah party for them. They were coming back here to the synagogue tonight, waiting to be picked up by their parents.
Story sounds way too familiar.
It really, far too familiar right after Charles Johnson's accident.
Thank you very much, Julie.
You bet.
Well, now back to the overnight storm that can literally be referred to as an eye-opener. In the next 35 minutes, we will chart the development of last night's hard-hitting storm cell and find out why winds reached nearly 100 miles an hour. We'll also travel to the areas of the Twin Cities, greater Minnesota, and western Wisconsin that are hardest hit and show you one of the strangest storm sights you will ever lay your eyes on.
Now, the action came in 4 waves starting around 10 p.m. last night. The worst of it broke loose around 1. Driving sheets of rain and hail swept through the South Metro, lighting up the sky. But worse, the winds tearing through at speeds from 60 to 90 miles an hour. Trees uprooted, roofs ripped off, and general chaos ensued.
It sounded like a train. And then the building started to shake, and it was just like, and then it was over. And then it just started pouring rain, and then we came out, and we just couldn't believe it.
Now, this picture is a good measuring stick. Straight line winds were blowing so hard a plastic drinking straw was propelled through a car tire, puncturing it.
Isn't that amazing?
Folks in Eagan and Lakeville took the brunt of the storm here in the 7-county area.
In just a minute, we'll travel to southern Minnesota where a suspected tornado touched down near Albert Lee. Reporter Dennis Stoffer will also check in from western Wisconsin with a survey of the destruction there. But first, we begin with KARE-11's Bernie Grace in Lakeville, where an 8-square-block area lays in ruins. Bernie.
Well, these are just a couple of the townhomes that were heavily damaged by the straight-line winds that tore through Lakeville early this morning. Now, the wall of a garage about a block away lifted up and slammed into